it's like your karma is telling you, well, frustration, say, look, you've justified, but this, look, let's put this energy into here. Let's get this happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely been feeling a lot of that myself lately with choosing directionality, like going with my gut response, waiting for my gut to respond so that I can make an informed decision with the information that was presented to me, either via somebody spewing garbage out their mouth or, flip flopping and changing the direction from where they were at before. And it's been really happening out of the blue, like all of a sudden people will just be making these huge flips, right? And it's just about how you're going to respond to it at this point, and checking in with yourself when these situations get presented to you. And it can be really, really hard when it's like an old long lasting friendship that you've had for a long time, or a relationship you've had for a long time, and all of a sudden you start to see parts of them that you never really knew they were there, and you kind of have to check in with yourself, and you should check in with them too. And it's like kind of going back to what Diana was saying about there's new ways of doing things. How are you going to communicate what you've noticed in your friend to them, or are you going to bring it up gently, or are you going to just gently remove yourself because it just doesn't feel right anymore? So it's about choosing the response and really leaning into what your gut is saying and what your intuition is saying about the situation, and rolling with what you get from that, and protecting yourself in that way, because there's a lot of big shifts happening right now in people. And
they're exposing themselves though, like,
yeah,
and the light is exposing the dark, and with the frequency shift, like, the lower stuff is coming up. And but if you're a being of light, if you're working on yourself, you're doing more inner work, you're raising your vibration, that's going to make people feel uncomfortable that aren't. And it's not about being jealous, not having an ego. It's just your,
it's frequency. Yep.
It's just a frequency,
the
and then
just
they get triggered by, it's like the trolls who respond, right? The people that are trolls, right? Their vibration is very low. They're projecting their stuff. They see you're coming there with, inspirational posts. I mean, we all dive in some darkness too. Like, my stuff isn't all love and light on my posts. Like, I mix in a little bit of everything, but like, there's still people that are just going there just to attack because it's like you're annoying to them. It's like you're irritating. It's like, even though you're not saying anything directly to them, it's like the light irritates them. They're, it's dark. We've all been through a lot of darkness, but you have to go 100%. Through it. But we've been through, and but you want to balance your light and your darkness. I'm not all love and light all the time. I couldn't be, but like, it's some people don't want to hear the truth. Some people don't want to work on themselves, but a lot of people give you the evil. They're giving you the evil eye. They're jealous, or just like, or they just don't want to do the work. And but we can't feel bad. If I've done some work, I put in my work, I'm not gonna feel bad, and I'm still gonna do what I'm doing on the plane. I'm not gonna let one person affect me, or however many people, haters. There's always gonna be haters. Either way, just be authentic, man. At least you're being. I rather people. There's a quote that says, "I'd rather people, what's it called, like me for who." Or people hate me for who I am than like me for who I'm not, right? And I agree with that. Yeah. Like, you just gotta be authentic. It's all about being authentic and what works for you. And it's okay if something doesn't work for you anymore. Like, people are gonna vibrate out of your life. And what Sarah just said, maybe communicating with them isn't the best thing. Silence is also a good response too, because part of me, maybe we're talking about inner child stuff, right? Sometimes I want to over-explain stuff. It's a trauma response, right? I want to over-explain why you did this to me, but they know what they did. They know what they did.
They don't care.
Or they don't care, or
exactly right.
It's taking energy from you. Even you exerting that, like, sometimes telling them what they did wrong, they already know, or they don't care, or it's giving them more energy. It's actually giving them more power. Yeah. So sometimes
look at
you
it
just gotta cut it and not. You don't need to explain. You don't have to explain everything. But that's me. I always like to explain. So I'm like, dude, why do I need to explain to this person what they know what they did?
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way.
I'm in a place too, like, just not over explaining, like, even when I'm apologizing to somebody.
We're going different ways, or just don't say anything. Silence is the best.
Like, just to let it go, and just like, not, I'm sorry because this and this, and leave a feeling of excuses. You're just sorry, and it's not going to happen. Or just come in and just be very direct,
or I'm not sorry, and I'm just like, it just ain't working.
Or I'm just this is the way that I feel. I don't need to explain to you why I feel this way, how I came to feel this way. I feel this way, and I'm going to leave because I don't want to keep putting my energy into this.
Say
And
you've got a
that's
trauma
like-
response.
What's that?
So I say you got a trauma response, right? That's a trauma response. As far as it's a shadow trauma response, right? Because if you have to explain to someone, or are you justifying yourself because
like over
what happened?
explaining, it's like, it's usually to please.
So
It comes
I've
from a
done that,
people
dude.
pleaser thing, or like trying to get a
that's right. It
validation
comes
from
an
someone,
inner
like inner
thing.
child
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Needing to
Yeah,
feel
so it's
heard.
all bullshit. But the worst bit is, I think, for all of us, we have this inner knowing. Like I've been proven right. I'm sitting there going, I wish I could expose. I've just exposed you. What? I guess you put to a point where now it has to get to a point, and that's what Greg and Michael said. But it gets to a point where it absolutely rips your heart out. Like you get hurt right by doing things. But this one that I saw on the weekend, that I go, I was damn well right. And it hurt to a point where you got to stop the hurt. If you get where I'm going, sometimes you allow the hurt. The hurt justifies the means. Whereas this one goes, I don't want to feel like this anymore because you made me feel like, not maybe, I was right. I'm not going to get the justification. I wish I could just bloody either, set you on fire, whatever you want to do. But if you get where I'm going, I'm looking straight through you. You don't give a shit. But is it justified in my life that I put my energy into? Or we'll use the word hate. I'll use the word hate. Who gives a shit? Use the word hate on the person. Or do you just go, as you just said, Di, ignore. The best way to do it is ignore it. And
Silence is a strong message. Silence gives a strong message.
right.
Yeah,
Silence
yeah.
is a.
Sometimes you have to.
The greatest message.